I know everyone listening to us in the car and on the podcast, they can't see us obviously, but you've got some fun stuff behind you.
Right.
What in the world are all those things behind you?
Well, the guy right over my right shoulder is that's a Terracotta Warrior. I went to Xi'an, China one year when I was with WWE. We had finished up in Vancouver. I used my miles to fly to China just because I wanted to see China. I wanted to see the Terracotta Warriors. Those Terracotta Warriors, there's, I don't know, 10,000 of these statues there. They're all about 6.5, 7 foot tall, all with different faces, everything. It's one of the greatest archaeological finds, since the pyramids. And they were selling replicas of the Terracotta Warriors. So that's a replica of the main general that's back in battle formation that was buried underneath to protect the old, I guess, Emperor Ming, I guess it was.
Mm-hmm.
That when they buried him, I got to meet the guy because it was in the winter. It was freezing cold. There were no tourists there. I was the only white person there. So, they had a few Asian tourists that were there, but I was the only person, obviously, that come from overseas because wasn't tourist season. Right. But it was the only time I had a chance to go. So I got to meet the guy who was signing the book, and I said, hey, they take care of him. And, this is the biggest archaeological find since the pyramids. And they said, oh, yeah, they took care of him. So I looked it up because I realized that didn't sound right. They paid him like $7 or something for his property. And then now he signs autographs. And I asked him to sign the book, and he took his time, and he made the most beautiful signature, in Chinese. I have no idea what it says, but it was just beautiful the way he did it. Took such pride in writing it. Of course, I tipped him like $20 at the time, which is 3 times what he got for his land. But now he makes more money for, off signing autographs, for books for tourists than he did farming in China. So now the other stuff I got a sword collection from different places around the world. I got a sword I got in Morocco that I got arrested in Spain for, got thrown into a Spanish jail. I've got swords from Iraq that I snuck back in the country. I've got swords from Japan that I bought when I signed a bigger deal with the Japanese company. I like collecting swords. The Mayan calendar there I got down in Mexico. That's how I keep up with Gerald Briscoe's birthday. And of course, above me over my left shoulder, I got an old San Antonio Riders helmet that somebody gave to me. And I got the old WWE Championship belt up there. And the giraffe I got in Shaka Zululand down in South Africa with Barry Windham. The didgeridoo I got in Australia when I was in tour over there. So just kind of got a collection of a bunch of stuff from all over the world.
And with the statue there, do you call the general by his name, or do you give him a fun name like Bud?
No, just General Xi'an, as I call him. Now, I don't know what his real name was. I named him, after the town, but it took me about 7 months to get him. I gave him my credit card, and, this is back in like 1997 or something. It was a while back, and I just knew they were going to stiff me on this stuff. So, and the guy said, President Clinton was here and just bought 34 pieces. And at the time, he had just gone to that Lewinsky scandal. And I said, do you really want to use our president to establish your credibility right now? And I got taxed in like Shanghai. I got taxed in Tokyo. I got taxed in LA. Not much, like 40 or 50 bucks. The whole statue was like 700 bucks or something. But I got it like 7 months later in this massive crate. But it probably weighs 300 or 400 pounds.